Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages over 21, I welcome you to our Christmas edition where we open a Booker's. Well, this is already open, but we review a Booker's. Last year we reviewed Booker's 2020-01, the Granny's Batch. This year is 2021-03, the Bardstown Batch. And the reason that we do this is because Booker's was created originally as a gift from the Booker family during the holiday season. So that's why we like to review this time of the year. But everybody knows before we get started on all of that, time for the traditional sip. Merry Christmas. So that's right, Booker's. This is the Bardstown Batch, like I mentioned. This comes in at 125.5 proof. We know the mash bill is 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley, which is right up there with some of my favorite mash bills that all of these distilleries seem to be putting out these days. Just seems to be the perfect combination of everything, if you ask me. But this one, like I said before, it's gift. It used to be a gift. They used to make Booker's just as a gift and hand it out from the family to friends, distillers, all kinds of people that they wanted or thought deserved to try this batch. Then obviously they realized it gained some traction. Let's put this out and let's make some money off this. Now they release 4 different Booker's batches every year. I can't afford all 4 of them, and we'll get into that during price. So I decided, after last year doing this for the Christmas holiday, we'll do Booker's once a year, and we'll pick out whichever batch we can get our hands on at that time. And that's what we'll review. So that's what we've got today, the 2021-03 batch. I have to thank a friend, Joey V, thank you for getting this for me. He actually picked this up, I think it was either in Connecticut or I think it was Connecticut, for $81. And again, when we get into price on this, that's really a steal, which is why I had him pick it up for me. At $81, compared to the $90 to $95 price tag that you normally see it, at least here on the shelves in Pennsylvania, I had to pick it up for that price. All that being said, though, you know the rules. We got price, taste, drinkability, and let's start with drinkability on this at 125.5 proof. Just like the Granny's Batch, this thing is easy to drink. It's smooth sipping. I don't understand why more distilleries cannot make 125 proof bourbon taste this smooth. Now, I have a few bourbons that are this high. We've had multiple Elijah Craig barrel proofs. We don't like the taste. The proof on those, though, hits hot. We just picked up a Jack Daniel's Coy Hill. Ours came in at 142 something. So that review will be this Friday as well. So if you're interested in a review on Jack Daniel's Coy Hill, make sure you check back on Friday. We've got Stag Junior Batch 14, which is 130.2. But this and the last Booker's seem to be the easiest drinking bourbons in that price range, at least that I've come across myself. Maybe you guys have some better suggestions on these high, uncut, barrel strength, unfiltered proof bourbons where, I just said that all out of order, but you get the point, where they sip as easy as this one does because it's just so smooth and the sweetness really helps on that. The nuttiness really helps on it as well that we're going to get into on taste. But I really can't get past the fact that for 125.5 proof, I could probably drink a glass or 2 of this, and I mean, the third glass, you're definitely not going to feel it as far as the proof, but it's just so easy to sip. I can't get past that, and I have to give it a great score on drinkability. Drinkability is going to be a short one today. We're just going to give it a great score. 9.36. 9.36 on drinkability, because again, it deserves to be up there as one of the easiest sipping higher proof bourbons that I've had. 9.36. And up next, we're going to get into taste on this. And please do correct me or tell me information if I ever either am wrong or don't elaborate enough. And you know more than I do. A lot of you do. So please let me know in the comment section below what you think. But I haven't tried all, since I've been drinking bourbon, 12 of these batches of bourbons. So they have 4 bourbons each year. I've been drinking bourbon for 2.5, 3 years. So I haven't tried all 12 of these. But the one that I have tried, and from what I hear from a lot of other people, there's a solid nuttiness. The Granny's Batch is 100% peanuts. And I like it, but I have to be in the mood for it, right? This one, on the other hand, the nuttiness is still there. Don't get me wrong. That malted barley gives it that nuttiness. That barley, it just isn't there quite as heavy as it was on the last batch that I had. And I thought it would be. I thought this was just going to be kind of the same experience that I had with the previous Jim Beam. And I like the fact that it's not the same experience, right? I'm not drinking the same thing. I'm not spending $90 over and over and over and over again on the same product. It's definitely giving me different flavors, which I do think is a plus, right? We're not drinking the same old product over and over again. But at the same time, this one compared to the other one, I don't know if it's a better different or a worse different. Now I like it. I don't love it. The last one, when I first had it, I didn't love it either, but it kind of grew on me, right? That peanut, that flavor, the vanillas, the oak, the age on this. This one I already mentioned, right? It came in at 6 years and 5 months. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but a 6-year-old bourbon, nothing crazy, right? This isn't a 15-year-old. This isn't a 12-year-old. It's only a 6-year-old bourbon, but at the same time, it provides this depth, probably because it's uncut and unfiltered, and it provides this I talk about a roller coaster on the taste waves. So I don't like one that's just straight rye or just straight sweetness, right? I like something that can balance itself out. You get to experience different flavors, and I'm getting that here. I'm getting brown sugar. I'm getting a fruity note. I'm definitely getting that nuttiness. I'm getting some sweetness. I'm also getting a little bit of that rye spice. So it definitely takes me on this different roller coaster of flavors. I know I keep using that word, but it's just the best word for it. This one, on the other hand, it's just something's a little off about it. You're stuck on one flavor for a little, then you move to another flavor. The mouth feels pretty good, but other than that, it just seems like it's like one of those, you know, the roller coaster where you get stuck at the top and you're just sitting there, right? And then eventually you go down and you're like, all right, this is, but you want to do it again. That's kind of what I feel like on this. I feel like I'm getting stuck on something, but it's not the peanut, it's not the oak. I'm just trying to like figure out what's going on, and it's not very well put together if you ask me flavor-wise. Now that's just my personal opinion. All of these videos are always personal opinion. The taste is good, it's not bad, it just doesn't compare to what I had previously, and that's really what I'm going off of for this one. So I'm going to give this, personally, again, it's not going to get a terrible score, like high sevens. Let's go like 7.94. Right? It's not terrible, but at the same time, I think the quality, the standards that I uphold Booker's to now, it's got to be a little bit better. 7.9, what did I say? 4? 7.94. So last but not least, we're going to get into price on this. And this is where I start to change my mind on things when I analyze price. So previously, I talk about all the time, what does this bottle have to offer to command that price, right? We're talking 125.5 proof, fantastic. We're talking uncut, unfiltered, which is awesome. We're talking a beautiful box. We're talking Jim Beam. We're talking 6 years, 5 months. All of that should command a price tag, but I'm in the market for a house right now. What's the first thing you do when you talk to a realtor? You look at comparables, right? What else is on the market, and what else is everybody offering, and what price is it going for? We have other things on the market like this. We've got Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, although I don't like it myself. We've got Larceny Barrel Proof, which I actually found out that I do enjoy a lot. We got Stag Jr. We've got now Jack Daniels is coming out with all these single barrel, high proof, high rise, whatever they're doing. Compared to $90 when they're all putting these things out at like $60 for now, it just seems like they're pricing themselves out of the market for people to pick up more than one of these bottles a year, which is why I don't. If this was $60 and I enjoyed one of the batches, maybe I'd go out and I get the next batch, but I just buy one of these to see how it is. I don't even watch all the reviews on these because it's like I'm not even going to go out and buy one. You kind of just got to guess and get lucky on which batch you're going to pick up that year, or whatever batch happens to hit your shelves that you find quick enough. So all of that going into price, I have to be a little bit upset at Jim Beam for kind of pricing this out of the market, if you ask me. This is your $500,000 house, which right now on the market is selling for $650 because the market's hot. Now, when the market's not so hot and when the product starts to become more available and when more and more people, which I think is the future, starts to put out these high-proof bourbons and these limited releases, I think you're going to see Booker's kind of fizzle out a little bit, which it might have already done itself by putting itself at that $90, $95 price tag. That I don't love. And that's why we're going to give it kind of a lower score when it comes to price compared to what we gave the Granny's batch previously before I had all this information and all of this knowledge. That's what we do here. We grow, folks. So, for me personally, I'm going to give this a 6.97. 6.97, right under 7 when it comes to price on this. But listen, while I add these scores up, let's send it over to this week's Bourbon Bomb of the Week and learn about why this is the Bardstown Batch and what that means for you. Cheers, y'all. So this one's pretty obvious. If you don't know, this is the Bardstown Batch, and it's called that because of Bardstown, Kentucky. Bardstown, Kentucky is the bourbon capital of the world. This is called Booker's for a reason because of Booker No. He was the 6th generation master distiller for Jim Beam being his grandfather. That's right, the actual Jim Beam, not the liquor. So Jim Beam was the grandfather, Booker No was the grandson. He created Booker's. Then we had Fred No, which is his son, actually continued this line, and he's the one that put this particular batch together. He's the one that takes over all of this, and we actually just got announced an 8th generation master distiller of Freddie No, which is Fred No's son. They actually, Fred No Freddie's father, Booker's son, lives in Jim Beam's house, his great-grandfather. How crazy is all this? See how it all sticks together? This family basically has controlled and run Bardstown for a very long time. You know Jim Beam, you know the No family. They have their hands in a lot of stuff, and they do a lot of good things for the town of Bardstown and even the state of Kentucky as a whole. So if you do pick up a batch, and you do pick up Bardstown Batch, just know that you're drinking this as the birthplace of Booker, No, and the family of Jim Beam, who basically owns the town. Cheers, y'all. So there you have your Bourbon Bomb. We like to learn something new every time we're here on the channel, and the best part about it is I get to learn it myself. I get to do all the research. I get to reach out to people. I get to talk to people. But that's where we're going to leave you for today. This came in at an 8.09. Not a bad spot for it. Again, if they could lower that price point, or even if some of the comparables catch up to that price point and they can stay even for a little while, I think you could see this jump on a lot of people's lists. It's got everything that you're looking for, but at the same time, this nuttiness that Jim Beam has isn't everybody's favorite, which is why I think this one might be a better pick for you if you don't enjoy that nuttiness. Now, while it's still there, it's just not nearly as prevalent as it was in the Granny's batch. But that's where we're going to leave you for today. Make sure you check me out on Instagram at Bourbon of the Week. Every Tuesday at 4 p.m. we drop an image of the bourbon that we're going to review. You can go on and try and guess my score. If you guess the closest, I'll give you a shout out on the channel, as well as enter you in a monthly drawing for some cool prizes such as custom Glencairns. We've got hoodies, t-shirts, we've got a whole bunch of stuff. Also, check me out on Patreon if you want to help support the channel. Patreon would be the place to go. Bourbon of the Week on Patreon. And if you want to come chat with us 24/7 on Discord, make sure you check that link out below as well. As always, please don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, and click that like, click that subscribe button. We're pushing 2,000 subscribers. It's crazy. We're already at 1,700. We're trying to get to 2,000 as quick as we can. Don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, stay healthy, stay happy, stay drinking. Cheers, y'all.